Are you looking for answers about extraterrestrials or maybe the true meaning of life? Then you have come to the right place. Welcome to the Ivan Teller online broadcast. Please subscribe to this YouTube channel. And for more details, please visit ivanteller.com and learn more about your galactic families.
Greetings all. Psycho was just here an hour ago. Blessings all. We're here to do another uh, Q&A. Right now I'm going through November, the end of November, so I'm doing the best I can to catch up. So blessings all. Thank you for your questions. And let's get started. And let's see if I can figure out how to work this. Oh, okay. Question from Jessica. Do I have any connections to the Egyptians? I've always been fascinated with that time and people. Yes. Like that many lifetimes there. I feel a priestess is one, but also one of poverty. Um, Maybe a slave, but not one with much money. But like a merchant lifetime with jewels, jewels, some kinds of incense, things like that. Uh, Cologne, yes, cologne type of. I would say you're like a someone that mixed those things up. Not sure if that connects with you now, but back then, yes. Perfumes and things of that sort. I believe you created your own, not necessarily sold them. You might have, but definitely was a merchant lifetime. Different lifetimes there. I see you in Greece a lot. Probably because those are happier times, but that depends. But definitely Egypt, yes. Many lifetimes, yes. Greece, yes. Rome, kind of. There's a couple there, at least. Um, but yeah, with fascination with the clothes, the people, at least that's ancient Greece. I'm not sure about, sorry, ancient Egypt. Not maybe not current, but definitely the ancient times. Yes, I imagine the current in some regard, but ancient times it was not. It was chaotic, but also peaceful. So it wasn't. They had a lot of peaceful times. Um, Interested in science also. Yeah, there's a lot about Egypt that's not being spoken about, and science was another thing. I know most likely mostly female lifetimes, but those female lifetimes were you can say for females there was some suppression there, yes, but not that wasn't always the case. Yeah, Egypt is like your home in many ways you can say. In some ways, yes, because it wasn't all. It was. It had a lot of positive memories of that. That's why. But even if it wasn't, it still had a deep-rooted connection with that. Definitely. Thank you. Question from Marina. I apologize. Marina. Channel request: Secret Legend of I don't know, not know what this is. Belovodye. See if I can find it. Not something I'm familiar with. Well, internet is kind of slow today. No, I'll leave you with that. Anyway, the question is, the legend states that in 1,000 years, the forces of hell will rage with blind fury, but the faith will endure. That is true. The forces of, well, I guess it's happening right now. The forces of pure light, of unearthly fire will overthrow the enemies. The living fires will cure the world wounds of the happy country. On the ruins of the old and new great people will arise rich in the beauty of spirit. Interesting. The rest of the chosen ones will carry the world of the living God to all countries of the earth. They will give peace and goodwill to the world. Okay, this is just a channeling request of them. Okay. Um yes, that's, yeah, you can say philosophy. There's a people that is very Palladian like actually. They have Palladian roots. As for channeling them right now, in the future, it's possible to channel this group, this, I'm not sure what you would call it, but that is a possibility. But that was very, very interesting. As yeah, I guess we're going through that right now. The forces of hell. Ever since Atlantis went down, we've been going through that. But yes, we're all on our way to. You could say we're already there in some ways. To spiritual enlightenment. We are just not all of us, but many of us are already there. So this comes up again. We'll channel it. Yeah, I have to understand it more too. I'm not completely understanding of it all. But anyway, a question from Magica126. What are my connections to Mother Earth? What's my DNA makeup? Any galactic connections? Any galactic connections that I'm unaware of? One moment, I connect to your energy. As a fairy, I have lifetimes here. Not sure if many have heard of this. Like, you know, the story of like Santa Claus is up in North Pole. Well, Mother Earth. Well, you can say even God. Like God's a white guy with a long beard. Well, Mother Earth is seen as by herself, like all by herself with elementals. But from what I've been getting recently, is that's not the case. Is like, yeah, she's with elementals, yes, but there's a family with Mother Earth. Uh, a group, there's a family. There's a large family that is not very spoken about all that much. Yes, they are connected to the elementals, but they are like her blood family. So they work with her to keep her energies heightened. But there is a family of Mother Earth. I mean, there is a Mother Earth guy, yes, but she also has a family. And this family, I'm not sure I don't know the verbiage of all this is, but I can tell you this. You were part of this group, this family. Many females and many males have been part of the Mother Earth family unit, you can say. They wish to be part of a planet, and this is how to do so. But she is the main source of, this is her baby, you can say, but there's others involved. It's quite fascinating. I'm not quite understanding the whole thing. There's probably a name to that. I don't know what it is, but it is quite fascinating. And I mean, connecting to trees is one thing, but connecting to Mother Earth and all of her family unit is, I mean, that one thing's elementals, but there's a lot more out there from what I'm gathering. Just has not been spoken about or connected with. I don't have the full details of it, but yes, I believe that you've been very connected to Mother Earth, definitely. Also, not just there, but through past lives. Maybe not nature sometimes, not always connected to nature sometimes. Yes and no, but definitely connected to Mother Earth, even sometimes more than nature itself. That's what I'm getting at. What is my DNA makeup? Arcturian. Lots of Arcturian. Yeah, Palladian Arcturian, mostly Arcturian. They have lifetimes in Orion. That seems to be everybody has a lifetime in Orion. Zeta lifetimes. Oh yeah, this is part of your galactic question. Your galactic connections. Yeah, you have many Zeta lifetimes, but also a lot of Arcturian lifetimes. Your Zeta, interesting. Your Zeta lifetimes seem to eclipse your Arcturian lifetimes. Interesting. Life as a sun being. Andromedan lifetimes. Andromedan lifetimes to do with song, meaning I would say bringing song to other worlds like a musician. Not all Andromedans are musicians. They might like music, but not all of them are. You are one that was a musician. Not sure if you are now. Definitely there. And life isn't. Danielle. This is part of your DNA also. Danielle, about 4 or 5%. Danielle. Okay. Thank you for your question. Question from Missy. Okay, JX. Okay. Do you know who JESSEX? Yeah, I have to look up this person. The genuine. What I'm getting is yes and no. They don't always get the information. Okay, Jay. I don't know how to pronounce his last name. Oh, consultation. $300 for 30 minutes. Crank it up. Crank up the constellation for $400. Okay. Here, I'll screen share this too, so you know what I'm talking about. If I get anything to work here. Interesting. Well, you can get it. Yes, but I don't think he always gets everything right. Yeah, it seems he seems to have quite a following, from what I'm feeling. I don't know a whole lot about this person, but he does have many past lives as a Palladian. But as for legit, it's yes and no. I get. Yeah, he has problems connecting. He's not always correct in what he's picking up and what he's picking up on. So it's 50-50. It's like sometimes you get a winner, sometimes you don't. Of course, that's what everyone you can say in some regard, but for him, is it worth $300? Well, I guess everybody you can. I can't answer that. I don't know. Is he credible? To an extent, yes. Does he get all information? No. So if he's worth $300, that's, I don't know. That's something I can't really answer because it's all individual. It all depends on the individual. Thank you for your question. Hopefully that answered that kind of well, kind of. I don't want to tap into his energy too far, but he's okay, but you need to know what you're getting involved with. Is it worth $300 to even consider it? Now, if you have $300 to throw away, sure, why not? I guess. But as for being legit, yeah, it's sometimes right, sometimes wrong. Question from TJ. Cryon is who likes to be channeled. Is the free energy device called MAGA? Oh, great. MAGGRAV power designed by MT, another name I don't know, MTKESHE functional. It's not functioning right now. One moment. It feels that one time it was functional. At one time it was working. Not anymore. It could have been taken apart. I believe it did have fun. It did work at one time. Not. I'm not going to go into the details if there might have been some certain individuals involved with it, but there's a possibility there were. Thank you for your question. Another name I can't pronounce. I need to go to name class. Question from Redar Roses. Christopher Columbus. Interesting. That's channel requests. Why did he claim to have discovered America? He wasn't a very nice person. A lot of it was to do with getting attention to Spain. Spain wanted money, they wanted fame, and they knew about. Was he the one that claimed to discover America? I don't think he was. I think others did claim that he discovered America, but he didn't. I feel he's very money hungry and a drunk and just not somebody that's easy to be around. I believe like the Spanish, you could call the government of that time, laid that claim. Far as I'm getting, they just wanted the fame of discovering it, even if it was already discovered. But you can say it was put into the mainstream. It was discovered, but you can say kept secret. You can say Spain didn't know about it. That is true. One moment. I don't think Spain, the government itself, knew of it, but there was definitely many that. Let's put it this way: Rome knew about it, but they did not mention it. Of course, it's the Catholic Church, but Rome definitely, the power within. As for the Catholic Church, they knew about it. And you could say refugees. I wouldn't say refugees, but those that came from America. There's always been stories about it. It's just, who knows? It's just one of history's little things. As for Spain knowing about it, like, no. There's been like legends of it, like it's Atlantis and things of that sort, but there's so much different disinformation about history. It's just I do feel like someone in Spain, I know it's like individually, there's been stories of a land out there and it's just never been really recognized. And anyway, that's not your question, but I believe it's just the Spanish government wanted to take all credit for it, and they had nothing to do with America. It didn't matter. That's what I'm gathering. Question from thank you for your question. Question from Mr. Lewis. Channel request: Celtic incarnation. In my previous answered questions, you mentioned that I had a Celtic lifetime that is relatable to this lifetime. Could you explain on that? This is a reincarnation my spirit guides would like me to know about. Is it? One moment. one moment. They're not going into any details. That's as far as they're going to go with it. I tell you, as you're a very spiritual person during that time period, you were not someone of wealth, let's put it that way. You were connected to nature. You're connected. It seems that you were connected to like the dark force, like the energies of a dark force, meaning you knew of much magic going on in the forest. And not to say you fully understood it, like I would say something like talking to the elementals in some ways, not understanding it fully, but in some ways understanding. You knew you were talking to somebody. You knew that the forest had a life of their own because you can feel it, but not understanding any of it. As for going to more in that lifetime, that's as far as they're going. There's things that they don't want out public, but I'll leave it with that. Thank you for your question. Okay, what inspired? Another question from Mr. Lewis. What inspired Michelangelo to be an artist? Which of his works is the most profound of? Did he have a rivalry with Raphael? Yes. I mean, he thought he was good, but he didn't care much for him. I think the style, he didn't care much for. What inspired Michelangelo to be an artist? His whole contract was to be an artist, but remember, well, actually, he was more of a sculptor, obviously. But there's just talents he could not ignore. All this, the Sistine Chapel. I believe in the Sistine Chapel was even something that was predestined. That he was, you could say on the other side, commissioned to do that there. Michelangelo's main thing was to inspire other artists. That's why he was famous. Interesting, huh? Michelangelo was famous to light the fire of art once again, because he was one of the famous ones, more famous than Da Vinci. I mean, if it wasn't for Michelangelo, I don't think you'd have a Raphael. I don't think so. Not to this extent. You'll have a Raphael, but not the Raphael that we have today. So Michelangelo that's why he was famous. Not to become rich and famous and yada yada yada. I'm the greatest who ever lived. It was mostly just inspire others. And boy, did he do that. And he was not much into painting either, but he's just great at it. Just of course, Leonardo wasn't. Leonardo was just in many ways. Leonardo was a failure in many ways, unfortunately. In many ways, he's just a mystery artist. He just had too much in his mind, and to concentrate on art was very difficult for him to do that. He wanted to draw. He wanted to really build things. That was Leonardo. I know you're not asked about Leonardo, but one of his most. Which of his works is most proud of? Oh, okay, that's a question for him. Do you have a connection with him? I'll answer that one first. Yes, I believe you're an apprentice of his. Of Michelangelo? Yes, I think you painted with him and him. I think more painting than sculpting. Yes. Did you know him like one-on-one? Not really, but I mean, yes, but I think you worked for him. That's what I get. You worked for him and you didn't know pain, but you didn't know him like a friend or anything, but you knew of him, say hey, hello, as he walked around, things of that sort. And he was impressed by her works, but he had much on his mind. I wasn't working. Yeah, I know you went. This is for channeling. As for this question, which of his works is most profound? I don't know. I get all of them from him. Okay. I think he's proud of everything he created, even the things that didn't look all too good, is what I'm gathering. This is a question from Jewel Love One. Channeling we request. Thank you for your questions. Channeling request. Thoth. Okay, was it you, Thoth, who opened my third eye and caused electricity to go out and out simus? I had to. Yeah. Who opened my third eye and caused electricity to go out? Basically, yes. It wasn't just him; it was others. But that was there. There was not just him; it was others, and that was there was just a lot there where you were. Excitement. What are the colored patterns of light I keep seeing at night? Since my third eye when falling asleep. You feel like you're seeing different dimensions, different colors of the dimensions, such as like portals. I think you're seeing more portals than anything else. It's you are seeing different dimensions, but more of the portals that lead to them. Are you helping me as I requested? And what should I do to connect with more and strengthen my psychic channeling abilities? He says, he says keep up the good work. Meditate more. Uh, yeah, sea salt bath. I'm not sure if you do that. Meditate more. Meditate, meditate, meditate. Was and yes, and he says, yeah, I think you do meditate, but meditate more. Your meditation is stronger than you think. Yeah, I was meditating and heard this. You are not black. You are Seti. Was that my imagination? And if not, what does it mean? It feels like it's a race of like. One moment. What I'm getting is a race of reptilian, but a friendly race, and a race that does not look reptilian. It looks more human. It's a human reptilian, but or you can say hybrid. It looks very human though, but it's not. But they're very psychic, very powerful, not very well known either. What are my connections to the Palladians, mermaids, dolphins, and the cat people? What are they all? Well, yes, 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 and yes. But what are your individual connections? You just had many. To just sum that all up, you just had many lifetimes here. One moment. You have many Arcturian lifetimes. Yeah, the Lyrans definitely. Those are a few lifetimes. There weren't very many of them. Mermaids, yes, you had many lifetimes as a mermaid. Dolphins, yes, dolphins, but that's part of the Sirius. This is where you're part of Sirius. But I believe you're more like a mermaid that connected to the dolphins. And interesting, you had the ability to reincarnate into a dolphin and also be a mermaid at the same time, is from what I'm gathering. This is something you did often. That way, you're in different parts of the ocean. Not just here, but in Sirius also. And that's, there's more to your question, but that's enough. I think I'm not sure who this. Thank you for your question. Question from Joel. I don't know who this is. Saint Expedite Sect X. Yeah. I have to look this stuff up. I don't know who that is. One moment. photo screen capture so you know what I'm talking about. Interesting. I don't know anything about this person. It's loading. Okay, are the rituals documented online to reach out to you, and when we have a when we have a request, correct? Is there anything else we should do or do when requesting you to fulfill a request? I think that's a little. I don't think any of that's really right. I mean, you can ask for his assistance. I don't think you have to jump through any rituals. Yeah, I don't feel like any of that's right. You don't need to do any of those things, but you can pray and ask for his assistance. But I don't think you need to do any rituals or anything like that. No. As for fulfilling a request, yeah, a lot of that's disinformation. I mean, if there's someone that channeled him, I don't think any of that's correct, but I could be wrong. But I don't think so. He's easily connect to his energies, and I don't think he really cares much for what has been written about him online, actually. That's what I got. A lot of it's false information. But he is easy to connect with, and it will help you pray also. And this whole thing with being a saint is not, I mean, if you want to call him a saint, it's fine, but you don't have to. Thank you for your question. Question from Daryl. Hi, Nick. I don't know. Oh, Nikola Tesla is who he was the channel. This is from Daryl. Hi, Nick. How was your crossover? Were you surprised? Any message for the layman? Let's see here. I don't think he was surprised. He knew he was on his way out. He was ready to go. He was kind of depressed and tired of this place. A lot of things are taken from him. He's been rejected from society, is from what I'm feeling. He was not surprised. He was kind of happy to go because he had enough. Message for the people. I guess that means layman. Think outside the box. Don't be afraid. The more that do this, the more they can't stop us. Can't stop everybody. Especially if you make yourself known. If you're an inventor and you make yourself popular, like on YouTube or somewhere, it's going to be kind of hard for them to get you when they have a lot of light on you. Of course, they'll find a way to do it. Interesting. Question from, thank you for your question. Question from Kanisha. Hopefully, oh, interesting. Archangel Zadkiel, and Zadkiel. Zadkiel. I don't know how to pronounce that. Internet's not as hot here. I don't know if this is going to help anybody or not, but hopefully it does. Not to him specifically, but to anyone who can accurately explain this. So my question is, what is the meaning of ascending in the negative spectrum? Could the being also be given details on this, please? give all details on this? Okay. And also, could you ask about what would be most accurate numerological table for us? I mean, given the most accurate one, if the numerological system's already known or not accurate enough, and some elaborate information, the key numbers would be great as well. I'm getting that it's almost impossible to get that correct here because there's so many that don't want it to be correct. You can tap into your own energy and you can say figure it out on your own. You can, I mean, the ones that are accurate enough, they're not always going to be perfect, but from what I'm gathering is that they're enough where you have a good enough idea of what you're trying to accomplish. Let's put it that way. What does mean ascending in the negative spectrum? Interesting. I would say negative ideas. We're already descending or ascending. We're already ascending into it. We're trying to descend out of it. Ascending into the negative spectrum is just going in depression, becoming super negative. Not necessarily have to be depressed to be negative, and to not let negativity let you go. You can like wear it like a hat, something like that. So accurately explain this. I'm not sure if anyone can accurately explain it. Jesus might be able to, but I don't feel it's all that important. But anyway, question from Maddie. Please unravel the mystery of her death. Oh, Marilyn Monroe. Where is she now? What life will she take on Earth again, and when? Feels like many were jealous of her looks. They're not going into detail on that. Where is she now? She's on the other side. She's doing well. She's going through rehabilitation from what I'm feeling in some ways. I guess we all are. What life would she take on Earth again, and when? She's not coming back here. I doubt it. I don't think she's coming back here at all. I don't feel like she's interested in this place at all. Yeah, I'm getting this from her. She'd rather be an old woman. That way nobody would mess around with her. Or she won't get harassed. When she was young, she got harassed a lot. A lot of deceiving people. She said about her death, you wouldn't believe it if she told you. She didn't. From good, they don't want to go into it. It's gonna have to stay a mystery. Yeah. Question from I don't know who that is. Question from Lena. Ron G. Thumb. How did you die so young? I'm sorry I didn't see you before you passed. I got messages. You were looking for me, but too late. Why were you looking for me? One moment. Not going into details on how he died. All I see is it's time for him to go. Yeah, he did have a message for you, but it's not important anymore. Why was he looking for you? He'd rather not go into it now. A lot of this stuff he doesn't want to go into. Now he died so young, does not want to go into it. It's not anybody's business, is what he says. It's not that important either. It's how you lived. A question from Teresa. Children and another point. Wondering if I have any hybrid children. If so, where are they? How many names? Ages? Thank you. We're children. I feel like several we're children, hybrid children, at least 10. Where are they? In the constellation of Lyra. I think you have one hybrid Arcturian. No Syrians. They're connected to the Syrians, though. Their hybrid children are. On and off. Names. The name Jordan comes through. Alfred. Human names. Figures. They always give me human names. It's never alien names. But that's okay. It's easier for us to connect that way. Ages. I feel like more teen years, like late teen years. Obviously, it's different for them than our years, but for them, it's teen years. Somewhere in the early 20s is from what I'm gathering. Thank you for your question. Question from Corina. How do I get, angels, oh my God. How do I get rid of this block that I feel so I can move forward? Is there any advice for me? One moment. One moment. I don't know, it doesn't feel like it's a real block. It's something that you're holding on to, the past. I believe you can move forward anytime you feel like. I don't think you feel like moving forward. There's something within you that is not letting you let go of the past. Situations with a male. I think some of it's ideas that are blocking you, you can say. Maybe bad advice or just hurtful things where you feel like you can't go anywhere, where you've been frozen. But I think it's a lot of it is, as for why life isn't going anywhere, I think you're not moving forward. There's something there that where you're just not, you're holding back for some reason. I could be wrong. Also, your life is at I would say a desert period in some regard, where you need to have clarity of who you are more and love yourself more and to understand yourself more. And that's not entirely there. There's material possessions that might interfere with your thinking. I mean, I think you need these things, but actually you do not need them. So you might want the priorities need to be a little bit straightened out, is what they're saying. I don't know if this is 100% correct. I don't know, but It seems like more material possessions seem to be slurring your viewpoints. That's what I'm gathering. So to look at life a little bit differently. I know it's a little bit hard, but you'd be surprised. What you have is quite a bit, and just the future is not making any sense to you right now. If any of that makes any sense, I hope it did. Blessings. Hopefully that. I hope that helps some of. I don't know. Thank you for your question. Question from Cheryl. Channel request. Guides. I would like to know the name of my guide. Thank you. One moment. Scion. Scion. Yang guide. Male. But he works with several females. You have 3 female guides. One of them is named Penelope. One is named Ruth. Remember, they look young, but they are very old. I will leave you with that. Thank you. Question from Lucas. I feel I have musical talent that I can use creatively. Is it creativity from my past lives on Earth? Yes. Also from Sirius, I'm gathering. I know you're not. I'm not sure if you're big on the alien stuff, but on Sirius, definitely you're a musician on Sirius, and one of the Sirius in the Sirius constellation, one of the planets there. One with a lot of water. Obviously, the Sirians. Not all Sirian worlds have water. Not like that. It's kind of like a water world in some regard. As for your musical lifetimes here, yes, Middle Ages, mostly Middle Ages. I don't feel that many musicians are in the Dark Ages, but you never know. But no, Middle Ages mostly. Those are actually pretty happy times for you. Very simplistic times. But yeah, they were not easy. But I feel you had a lot of joy there. They're mostly Middle Ages. A lot of lifetimes there. Mostly musician lifetimes. A lot of lifetimes. One after the other. Couldn't get enough of it. Interesting. A lot of culture there. Not sure that you can bring that culture here. In some regard, yes. There we go. This will be the last question. Question from Paul about Obama's truth. Has Obama been cloned, killed off? Where was he really born? Also his agenda. I'm very interested in the truth because I get such a demonic vibe from him. And no, this is a very good question, though. I'm not laughing. I hope I don't think that, but that's a very good question. And how he always talks to the masses in third person, yeah, that's great. If he's not even there. Also, the truth about his wife / husband, is a man or female. You see, there are. Yeah, I understand completely what you're getting at. You see, there are very sketchy and really out of the norm of the actions. So many things that they have not surfaced. All right. Has Obama been cloned? Yes. A couple of times, just in case he gets assassinated. No, funny, but assassination is interesting because it's not. It's like a planned one by your government, I imagine. If he gets out of line, this happens a lot actually. So yes, I believe there's a clone versions of him, but obviously they don't put him out all at once. I believe they're underground. I know this is all science fiction to many, but I don't think he's been killed off. I think he's been trained to be like a robot in many ways. I think that's really him though. He's just like a robot personality. I can tell you this: he's been prepped for being president for a very long time. He was like one of the candidates. He's not necessarily going to win, but he was being prepped very early on. It was never concrete. Depends on who you talk to. I don't think it was ever completely concrete. As for demonic vibe, that's mostly reptilians that are around him, controlling his mind, his thinking. They put false words in his mind. They don't. Every time I connect with him, they don't really like him all that much. He's a very weak person in many regards, very arrogant. They don't care much for that. These are the malevolent ones that say about him. What's the truth about his wife? In some ways, she's more demonic than he is. She has a very bitterness about this country, does not like America at all. But she likes the perks of it. But she's not much of an American at all. I don't see that. She's more into herself. Oh, she meant no. She's not a man. She just has a lot of testosterone. She's not a man. She's a female. She's had some really nasty lifetimes. Nasty. I mean, she's done some pretty dark stuff. You could say she's almost paying for it in some regard. Of course, it's hard to see that, but in her looks, she was very. If there's anyone demonic, it's her. She's had a lot of dirty lifetimes. Robbing banks, murdering people. These are past lives as a gangster in some regard. Was she black? Yes, I think so. Yes. She had lifetimes as a man many times, and that's where all this is coming from. But is she a man? Is her soul a man? That's interesting. I don't think so. She just had a lot of no. She's had a lot of lifetimes as a man, though. She prefers a man being a man because you get away with more things. She wasn't always a horrible person, but you can say she turned to the dark side for a while. Happens. Yeah, she has some really dark stuff. It's like a cowboy, but a black one, and doing some horrific things. Yeah, there's a lot of. I mean, there are positive lifetimes there also, but I'm not picking up on them right now. Well, the reason I'm not picking up on them is because she's living through a lot of that karma. Of course, it's kind of hard to tell, isn't it? There's a lot of demons there with her. She's a lot worse off than he is, that's for sure. I mean, he's not perfect, but he does not have the baggage that she does. You probably can see it in her eyes. And there's that face, it's there. That's true. We never went into Donald Trump's past lives. I think we have like alien wise, and anyway, but with her, she's got a lot of baggage, that's for sure. I don't want to put her in a position of being like a super negative person, but you can say she chose all these lifetimes because, yeah, she had enough of life where she wanted to take advantage of the situation and get what she wanted. And as for this life here, it was to put her on a pedestal for everybody to see her for who she is, meaning. All right, give me a second to go into more of this. This is a really interesting character. Meaning that in her lifetimes in the past, they're very shady, and she wasn't, when I say shady, yes, but also hidden, like mysterious. She wasn't very much in the public eye. And now she chose a lifetime as this. Now, this wasn't always concrete of her becoming first lady. This is human. I mean, yes, it was there, but it was not always. It didn't have to happen because you have choice, you have free will. All these different things can happen, and not to say this is all a mistake, but that was part of her chart, but not necessarily had to live that because she has free will to leave Obama anytime she wanted in the past and to go in a completely different direction. But what I see is a lot of shady lifetimes, and she chose this life to where she was going to be in the public spotlight to, I want to say, you're going to find this interesting, though, to refine a lot of your viewpoints. Meaning, when you're in the public eye, you have to behave yourself, and because I think you've seen videos online of her not being very friendly, like saying "damn America." Well, yeah, because that's there ingrained. She was a slave at one time. That's why. Yeah, she was a slave. She was a black slave. That's why she's all pissed off. That makes perfect sense. But also, she had lifetimes where she didn't have to be a bad person, which is really fascinating here. But I'm not judging anybody. I'm not definitely not one to judge at all. Uh, but it's this is a life where she has to get attention. So when you're in the public eye, you have to behave yourself because you know how it goes. If you're nasty or anything, you're history. I mean, seriously. So she's on good behavior for a while. Of course, she's not entirely always in the spotlight, but she is a female soul. I believe so, yes. But she has so many male lifetimes. She had a lot of male lifetimes. It's a lot. This is why she looks like a man in some regard. It's just part of her genetics. And ridicule in some regard, because some of the things that she did were pretty horrific. Like I said, I'm not judging. So to be put out on the spotlight like this is to force her to look at life differently. I know this is like a loaded answer. I'm sorry, but hopefully this is interesting to some. But Obama, I don't think Obama is a horrible person. He's not perfect, but he could say he signed up for this. I mean, he ran for president. I mean, he could have said no to all that. So he felt like he was the right guy for the job. Okay, but he's not. He's not perfect. He's got some demons, but nothing like Michelle. There is a lot there. Gangster, past lives. But understand when you have the white man suppressing the blacks, that's very understandable why he would be like that. But in some regards, she went a little bit too far in some regard, but not too, so anyway. But right now she's being forced to be humane and to look at life a little bit differently, to be more positive. And I see other lifetimes here. You can say in some way she's going through rehabilitation in some regard. I know this all sounds strange. She's not right now. Right now, she's disconnected from humanity, meaning, she's tapped out, meaning that she doesn't see how it is to live like an ordinary American. Not anymore. Before, yes, but now she's in this position. Now she's in the upper crust. Now she just wants everyone to do stuff for her, and she wants to be treated like a queen. I think you already see this already. The money they have, the way they spend, all the trips that they do. She wants to feel like royalty. I think she's already there. So there's a lot there. It's fascinating. Yes. I'll leave you with that. I'm not sure if anybody was really much into that, but that was pretty fascinating. All right, blessings all. Thank you for your questions. You can submit more realize them in November still. So blessings all, and it might be a webinar tomorrow during the day is a possibility. I'm debating right now, so it might be a last minute. If you're not working, jump on in. We'll see how it goes. Blessings. Good night.